This is the VanBanner Parkingmaster 2.0. We're going to take a quick peek at what the prototype looked like, and you're going to see for yourself why it probably didn't make it into production. And then we're going to take a deep dive into the 2.0, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, despite its flaws, why it's the best watch that I've gotten on the channel in 2021 on this episode of time. We kind of want Hello everyone, welcome to AvgJoeWatchReviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we are doing the VanBanner watch, the Parkingmaster 2.0. This is a company from Vancouver, British Columbia, and they were so gracious enough to actually gift the watch in for review. As you guys know, some of the loyal subscribers of my channel, I'm going to give you guys an honest review, whether it's gifted or it's loaned or it's my own. It doesn't matter. I will give you the honest truth. So here's the box that it will come in, and nothing really fancy or anything. Just give you a hang tag. There's all the links that I had left over for my 7-inch wrist, and there's some instructions there you'll definitely want to take a look at. And then your outer sleeve. This is actually one of the better watches that I've had on my channel for 2021. And if you guys tune in, I'm going to tell you exactly why I think so. So, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and also click a like. That is the most charitable way to help support the channel. So with no further ado, let's just dive right on into the review. Oh yeah. All right, so we've got ourselves the VanBanner Parkingmaster 2.0. Now, it's called a 2.0 because there was actually a prototype that was actually featured on Alton's channel over at Half Past Blog. Go over and check out his channel. He's got a really good channel. And as you can see, the prototype wasn't as nice as this one, I have to admit. I'm very, very glad and fortunate that they did a second version, and I think they really did an incredible job on this particular model. First and foremost, what's really striking is that sunburst green dial. Now, they do have the blue sunburst, and then they also have a white version, which is a grainy textured like dial. Now, I almost chose that one, but, I don't have a lot of green watches in my collection, so I decided to go with this one. But I'll tell you, every single option was really, really tempting. And I'm going to tell you, this is a very colorful watch. I mean, look at the bezel itself. You've got basically a reverse style countdown timer, which actually is much more practical than a traditional diver. Now, if you take a look at my Tissot C-Star, which I'll actually be doing a review on this shortly, you can see the difference in the bezel. You've got 10, 20, 30, and this one's got 10, 20, 30. So I'm going to show you how to use this particular bezel because, again, this is the Parkingmaster, meaning that if you put dimes, quarters, nickels, whatever in the parking meter, you can use this watch to time it. So let's just say you got yourself 20 minutes worth of time in the meter. You're going to line the 20 up with the minute hand, and right here is when your meter is up, and they give you a orange warning indicator, and here's where you definitely better get yourself going. So very, very practical sense, because you can also use this for boiling your eggs, picking up your son or daughter at band camp, whatever the case might be. You can use this bezel for sure for those practical everyday applications. Let's wind this beast up and give you guys a showing of how the movement goes. Now this one here is a screw down crown. I have a little issue with this. This is a little wobbly. It kind of reminds me of a Vostok. I hope this doesn't come loose one day. I don't think it will, but just a little bit of concern there. And then screwing it in, it's pretty simple, as you could see. And on my watch, the PM always lines up. No matter which way I screw it in, it always matches up. And I actually realized this when Merly on Time brought this up to me. You could check out his YouTube channel. Another good friend and good YouTuber as well. So this watch here, you unscrew the crown, it pops out to the first position, which you can then hand wind it, and then you pop it out to the one and only position. You notice that there is hacking, and you set the time. No ghost position with this watch. I'm happy to see that LV put the proper movement into this watch. You can just see that all of the indices here on the dial are really just in your face. And what I really found interesting is that the 12 o'clock marker actually matches up with the bezel, or usually where the pip would be. Now, the bezel, the orange and the red, all the indices, the handset, even the second hand, they all have superluminova. Even the crown itself. You've got yourself a combination of BGW9 and C3 luminova, really generously applied on the entire watch. Very, very impressive. And I meant to tell you guys that this bezel is actually one of the best bezels. 120 click, no backplay whatsoever. One of the most quality bezels I've actually had the pleasure of twisting. Which is actually not to be offensive, but I was really surprised at how good this bezel is. It's really solid. Now, we do get a single dome sapphire crystal, which has AR coating both top and bottom. And you know, as you can see, I mean, there is some glare, but I've actually never had an issue reading this watch because of how just everything is just so bold, you know. So let's do a real quick sapphire test. We have it all fired up, and we are reading sapphire crystal on the front, and we're going to take a look at the back as well and check that out. We're getting sapphire crystal in the back as well. Unexpected. I actually didn't know that until now, so that's why I wanted to fire that up for you guys and show you. So another impressive quality feature of this watch. And speaking of quality, take a look at this bracelet as it just, the light just dances off it like crazy. All completely brushed. You've got it flared out from the lugs, which it really is a nice look, and it has a nice taper. So when we take a look at the bracelet itself, the bracelet you're looking at from the flare, you're looking at let's see, almost a 24 millimeter, and you're tapering down to like an 18 millimeter. So really nice taper. One of the big negatives I have with this particular watch is the fact, and I know this was an error that LV told me about, the owner of the company. He said the screws were supposed to be single screw, but unfortunately these came with the double screw, which means you need to have two screwdrivers. And I've heard of a lot of YouTubers that are having trouble sizing the bracelet. You pretty much have to keep one side in and locked like that, and then you just take the other side and you unscrew it. You definitely have to have some good dexterity. Even the box with the instructions say that they would recommend this go into a jeweler, as you can see right here. Because this bracelet is equipped with a double-side screw bars, it's not easy to resize at home. Recommend to find a watchmaker. So, if you're a DIYer like myself, I refuse to do that. So, and I was able to do it pretty simply. These don't give me a problem. So, the bracelet is a quick release system, which is really nice. I love it when companies do that. and you can see how easy it is to do that. And now we do see the Miyota 9039. Well, you can see it partially, and look at that, you can even see it right there. Now, I've heard reviewers say that they like this whole red VB logo with all the stuff here. I'm not one of them. For me, it's either give me a solid case back or give me a full exhibition case back. Notice that there's actually a metal movement holder, which you don't see often in watches that cost this amount. So again, a nice upgrade for this watch. Now, the case shape is something that's really incredible, and you see the brushing that is done on here. But you can see how the lugs angle down, and you see like even a different portion, a different level, different plane here. And it really gives this watch a very, very interesting look. You do get the drilled lugs, which is nice. And they even finished the watch off where most companies don't even do so. Even my Breitling, they did not finish in between the lugs like this company did here. So, you know, kudos to these guys for the details of this. I mean, you know, you could see that they put a lot of work into the details. Now, going back to the crown, which is lume, by the way, it's not a 4 o'clock crown, it's not a 3 o'clock crown, it's actually more of a 3:30 crown. Again, another interesting touch and something that you don't see on watches every day, so I do like that. Jumping back to the bracelet, we do get the VanBanner logo etched into the pretty standard dual deployment clasp. You get plenty of micro adjust, 2, 4, 6 micro adjust there. Proper mill clasp, and you do get the safety deployment. Now, I will say the first thing that I noticed when opening this watch was all of the sharp angles. Everything on here is, I don't want to say sharp, but like not like razor sharp, but there's definitely edges to these that I was expecting a little bit more refinement to. But I think it plays more on the design of this. Even these links, they all are pretty. There's definitely an edge to them, and I just, you know, after wearing this for a couple of weeks, it actually has not been an issue, and you know, it was just something that I caught, you know, right away. But it wasn't something like after wearing it for a while that I actually even thought about anymore. So I'm going to show you the watch on my 7-inch wrist. We do have male end links. All right, so you could see the single male end link here, and you can see how the bracelet, that's, you know, again, a little bit on the, not sharp, but it's definitely got an edge to it. But yeah, this is how it's going to fit on a 7-inch wrist. It doesn't bother me. I think when you have flare like this, I don't think there was any other choice to do it this way. But again, I think they did a good job with this bracelet. I think it's definitely a huge highlight of this watch. Looking at 200 meters of water resistance. Looking at a 40 millimeter case diameter, but when you include the bezel, you're looking at a 41. Our lug-to-lug height is 48 millimeters, and if you want to go out to the end links, okay, how it sits on the wrist, you're looking at a 53.4 millimeters out to the end links. 20 millimeter lug width. I did show you the flare, which actually comes out significantly more, and we're looking at a 14 millimeter in width. All right, just some final thoughts on the VanBanner Parkingmaster 2.0. So glad that LV, the owner, scratched the prototype, because this watch looks nothing like it. And quite frankly, this one here is 10 times better than the prototype. So the fact that he completely started from scratch and made this, I got to give him kudos, because I mean, that takes a lot of guts and takes money too. I mean, you know, the guy produced a 1.0 version, but it it doesn't compete with this one. So I have to give him a lot of credit on this, and I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to keep this, because this is staying in my collection for multiple reasons. It's very unique. It's not like any watch in my collection. This bracelet is such a light catcher, really nicely done with the flare and the taper. Very colorful presentation with the orange and red that actually do glow. Very generous amounts of BGW9 and C3 Luminova all throughout. And the fact that we have a countdown bezel, again, very unique feature. 330 crown, again, unique feature. Look at this side profile. Look at the whole profile of the watch. I mean, it's just a very, very uniquely constructed, well thought out piece that looks nice on the wrist, decent movement in it, and guys, you won't be disappointed. I mean, look at this. It's a beauty. I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun and practical. What can I say? That's my 2 cents. You can keep the change, and always remember that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.